Happy Friday. Today is November 3rd, 2023, and welcome to Simply Cards by Kathy. I'm Kathy Ondas. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining me. It is a fun bundle. I hope you enjoy using it. I know I'm a little late today, but I've been being a caregiver for the last couple days. So we had a doctor's appointment this morning. So I didn't want to be late, so I pushed it back a half hour. So today, if you remember, you were with me Tuesday, we were using the all around wishes all around bundle. And I said we would do 3 cards with it this week. Well, the second card is today, and the third card will be Sunday night at 7 p.m. So I hope you can join me then. So today we are using a different stamp set, a different die from that bundle, and I'm going to show you another quick and easy card. I really love this stamp set. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll enjoy it and come back. And if you are returning, or catching me on the replay, thank you so much for supporting me and helping me grow my channel. So I am going to flip this camera down and let's get started. Okay, so today, if you did not see, we are the other day, we are using the Wishes All Around bundle. Now, some really pretty greetings, some small stamps. This is a cling stamp set, so it is the red rubber backing. And the only really big stamp is this tree one, and this is the one we're going to use today. Now, with that being said, I am continuing from what I did the other day is to use the Christmas Tidings embossing folder. I love this folder, and we're going to use this on all 3 cards this week. Today, I am using a small piece of designer series paper. If on Tuesday we didn't use any designer series paper. Today, I'm using a piece from the Winter Meadows. And if you're not familiar with Winter Meadows, it's gorgeous. Now on Sunday, we're going to use this one with the deer. And just really pretty paper, watercolor on the back. We've used this for a fun fold a couple weeks ago, and we're going to use a piece of this today. So let's get started. I want to get my stamping out of the way first today. So I have a small piece of basic white, and we are going to stamp our trees. Now I'm using Pretty Peacock. I'm staying pretty much with those colors for the cards. Now, sit back, relax. Don't worry about measurements. I already have the downloadable PDF ready for you, and that will be up with the blog post by 6 p.m. this evening, where you'll be able to download it. So don't worry about measurements, but I will tell them to you as we go along. Now, this is a big stamp, so I just want to make sure it was inked up well. I'm going to give it a good press, and I'm just going to let it set there for a few seconds to absorb the ink. And we have a good image. Now we're going to cut this out. I did not do this ahead of time because for some people it may be, this is a great card for beginners, and it may be that you're new to using the dies, but I line mine up, and I don't count on myself to keep them lined up because I'm not very good at that. So I take a piece of tape, and I'm just using Post-it note tape, and I'm just going to add it to one edge here. And I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine, and we're just going to cut this out, and then we're ready to start putting our card together. So this does fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. So if you have that, don't be worried that you need the big one to cut these larger dies out. This one does fit through here. Okay, let's get this out of our way. And there's our wreath. I think that's so pretty. Now, quick idea. You could save the center of this wreath and use it on another card as a sun. You could blend it with your blending brushes and some yellow or whatever. But it's I actually am saving those to use on another card. So here's this. So let's start putting our card together because I already stamped this, which is our external greeting. But I do need to stamp our inside. So let's do that one. Now I am using another sentiment from the Wishes All Around bundle. I'm using the Sending Wishes for a Wonderful and Joyous Season. I'm going to ink that up also with my pretty peacock. I hope you have some fun plans for the weekend. I hope your weather holds out. I'm here in the, I'm never sure whether it's the Midwest or Northeast because it's called both, but I'm on Lake Erie over in Ohio, and we've had some decent weather today, but it's supposed to start raining again. That's smeared. Let's flip that over. I think I was too busy talking. So I'm hoping the weather holds out a little bit. Let's stamp this. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then for the inside of the card, we're just going to finish this up while we're here. I used a strip of pretty peacock and a strip of the matching designer series paper. So let's just go ahead and get this on, and then we'll be ready to just assemble, and everything is stamped and done for our card. Now this is a 1/2-inch strip by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to go ahead and line it right up on the edge here. And I'm using the glue so that I can slide it a little bit. As much as I love the not having the messiness of using the tape, the Stamp and Seal, I really do need the glue to be able to slide. So let's go ahead and we're going to put this here. Okay, and the inside of our card is done. So let's go ahead and take our base, and this is a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and it is scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to just burnish it so I get a good crease. Now our next layer, I'm using Pretty Peacock, and this is what I embossed using the Christmas Tidings embossing folder. So this is going to be our layer on here. And I am going to use the multi-purpose glue. Now, quick tip for those of you that may be new to embossing, you can use either the tape runner, the Stamp and Seal, or the multi-purpose glue. I tend to use the multi-purpose glue because I can get it close to the edge without overlapping, but it allows me to slide. It also gets in the crevices or the little creases of the embossed layer. And you can, I tend to find I get a better seal using that where it lays flatter than if I use a tape runner. All right, so there's that. Now, our next layer. I have a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square of Lost Lagoon. And remember I said I was going to use this designer series paper from Winter Meadow. So the Christmas trees is 3 by 3. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my Lost Lagoon. Let's do that. And just kind of straighten that up a little bit here. All right. Now I want to attach this to here, but I want to pop it up a little bit. So I am going to use my mini Stampin' Dimensionals for that. But I also want to be able to run a ribbon around this. So I want to be careful in where I'm going to place my dimensionals. So I am going to place them here up at the top and the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. But I want to stay away from the sides, the center part of the sides, like right directly here, because that's where I want to run my ribbon through. And if I were to put dimensionals there, I would not be able to do that. So I am going to avoid that area and just kind of place them around it. And that should be good. So let's remove these. Mary, it is cold here in Ohio also. We're about 45 and sunny until the rain moves back in tonight. All right, so I want to be careful again in placing these here. So the areas that don't have the dimensionals is what I want at like the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock points on my card. So they're there. Now I'm using the white 1/2 inch iridescent ribbon. And I'm just going to run it through here. Remember, I left those sides open so that I could do that. If I can feed it through here. There we go. And I'm just going to run it right through the center, which worked out really well by leaving that open. And I want both ends to be over here to the side, because that's where I'm going to tie my bow. So I'm just going to cut off as much as I think I need, and I always end up cutting off a little bit more. And I'm going to tack my ribbon down on the back here with just a glue dot after I make sure that I have some even ends over here. Kind of pulling this all over the place. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so let's tack this down. And that will hold it in place for us. Now you can use tape runner if you want to, and usually I do that. You can use a piece of Scotch tape too. So let's bring that down a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, since I have my ribbon here, and adhere this to the front of the card. Now this card I'm going to make portrait. You could flip it and make it landscape. Either way, but I'm going to go this way, and I want to keep those tails to the right because I'm going to have my bow off to the right hand side. Okay, so let's do that, and we're going to pop it up with some dimensionals. Now I did do this card in a landscape, and I'll show you that when we're done here. This one will have a greeting. The other one I did not, because in landscape it didn't really leave me room. At least I didn't feel it did to have a greeting. So I'm going to put one here. So lots of dimensionals to support it. Again, it's probably going to go through the mail. All right. And let's take these off. Hi, Maria. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you also. All right, so we're ready to adhere this, and I'm just going to hang onto my ribbon so it stays in place. And we're going to add this right here. Okay, so now I'm going to tie my ribbon, and I tend to tie it upside down. Whoop. I don't want to pull it that tight. Let's loosen that up just a little bit here. There we go. I want to get it so that it's kind of off to the side and not on my wreath. All right. And then we're just going to tie a nice bow. And we can trim it up when we're done here. Okay, and then I kind of just work with my bow to get it to the size I want it. I am going to pull these a little bit smaller and tighten them up. In fact, let's try something here. Let's try going over this and see what happens. I did go under it on the other one, but we also had more room. Now I'm going back underneath. That's how you learn. You play with it. So let's go ahead and we're just going to go back and tie this. Okay, and I want to just get that down, and I'm going to give it a good pull. Okay, now we can tie. And we're just going to work it around a little bit. I'm going to bring it back down here and tighten up my bows. And just bring it a little bit smaller. Even it up. And let's trim. Now I'm going to move this over just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to take a glue dot and hold that down. And let's get this just a little bit smaller. And then I'm just going to pop the glue dot under here. That not only holds it in place, but it also prevents it from untying because it kind of locks it in. And you can then trim these down to whatever size you want. I want mine a little smaller. All right. So there's our wreath with our ribbon. And I have our greetings. So I did stamp the Christmas greetings here. And I am going to trim this off a little bit. And then with this one, I'm going to trim closer also. And we're just going to pop this up on the bottom with a couple dimensionals. And then I'm going to show you the other card. Now, with this one, I'm going to embellish it using the iridescent rhinestones because of the iridescent ribbon. I thought that would look pretty with that. And we don't need a lot. Let's get all this out of the way. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to the inside. Right. And then let's just add a few gems. So I'm going to bring in my iridescent pearls, actually, not the rhinestones, because I want it to stay with the white. And I'm just going to use the small ones. And I think I'm just going to put one here. Let's put one here. And another small one maybe over here. And we're going to add one more right here on that poinsettia. So here's our card. It is quick. It is easy. Now here's the one I did landscape, and you can see the bow takes a little bit more room on the front and a little bit more of a center point, but you don't really have room for a greeting, but you don't necessarily need to have a greeting. So here's a second example. So let me bring you back to me. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a second idea for using that bundle, the wishes all around. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It helps me grow my channel. Feel free to share the video if you like. And remember, this week I will be back with you Sunday night at 7 o'clock and show you a third idea for an easy card using that wishes all around bundle. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, well, and I hope to see you again real soon.